For centuries, hidden among the misty mountains of southern Mexico, an ancient ceremony unfolded in complete darkness. There were no laboratories, no universities, only prayers, chants, and small mushrooms that the Mazatec people believed carried the voice of the divine. The woman leading these ceremonies couldn't read or write. She never sought fame. Yet her quiet life would help reshape science, inspire a global counterculture, and influence modern mental health research. Her name was María Sabina. Born around 1894 in the remote town of Huautla de Jiménez, Oaxaca, María Sabina grew up in a Mazatec community where sacred mushrooms were known as the Holy Children. They were never treated as recreational drugs, but as spiritual beings used for healing and guidance. Following a family tradition of healers, María became a respected curandera. People traveled long distances to attend her veladas, all-night healing ceremonies held in darkness. Patients consumed the sacred mushrooms while María prayed, chanted, and entered a visionary state. She believed the words she spoke weren't her own, but messages delivered through the mushrooms themselves. Her improvised chants, spoken in the Mazatec language, would later be recognized as extraordinary works of oral poetry. For decades, these ceremonies remained almost unknown outside her community. Then, in 1955, an American banker and amateur ethnomycologist named R. Gordon Wasson arrived in Huautla after years of searching for indigenous mushroom traditions. He asked María Sabina to allow him to participate in one of her sacred ceremonies. She agreed. It was a decision that neither of them could have imagined would change history. 2 years later, Wasson published an article in Life magazine describing his experience. For millions of readers, it was their first introduction to sacred mushroom ceremonies. The story spread rapidly. Scientists became fascinated. Writers became curious. And soon, travelers from around the world began arriving in María Sabina's small mountain village. Many came seeking enlightenment, but many ignored the spiritual traditions that gave the ceremonies their meaning. What had once been a private healing practice gradually became associated with the growing psychedelic movement of the 1960s. The consequences were devastating. Some members of María Sabina's own community blamed her for exposing sacred traditions to outsiders. Her home was reportedly burned, and she faced harassment from authorities. Despite becoming famous around the world, she remained poor for the rest of her life. In later years, María Sabina expressed deep regret over what had happened. She believed the Holy Children had lost their spiritual power because too many people sought them for recreation rather than healing. Whether one shares her beliefs or not, her words reflected the pain of watching a sacred tradition become a global curiosity. Yet her influence continued to grow. The attention generated by Wasson's account helped spark scientific interest in psilocybin, the compound found in the mushrooms used during her ceremonies. Decades later, researchers began studying it as a potential treatment for depression, addiction, and end-of-life anxiety. María Sabina did not create modern psychedelic medicine on her own, but many historians recognize her ceremonies as one of the pivotal moments that connected ancient indigenous knowledge with modern scientific research. She died in 1985 in the same village where she was born. She never became wealthy. She never traveled the world. Yet, the ceremonies she once performed in the silence of a small mountain town continue to echo through laboratories, hospitals, and universities across the globe. Her story is a reminder that some of history's greatest influences don't come from those who sought recognition, but from those whose wisdom the world discovered only after it was almost too late.